We're sitting here in my office, which is a 105-year-old building made of timber. It's 7 stories tall. On their current building codes in North America, this building would not be allowed to be built, but we built many, many, many buildings like this 100 years ago. Well, now we need to take our building codes and restore some of our technical understanding of the way the buildings worked a long time ago and demonstrate how they work with new technologies to be even better. New fire suppression systems, new engineered wood buildings means bigger buildings can be built and a lot safer than we ever imagined. I like to think that the only barriers are issues of education. I often say that the biggest challenge of doing bigger buildings and new types of buildings and using wood is not the engineering, it's actually helping people manage people's perception of what's possible. We know how to manage fire, we know how to technically take these challenges on, but we need to educate people about how we do those things and make sure they understand how incredibly safe these buildings are. Even in the forest, when a forest fire goes through, the big trees stay standing, they char on the outside, the inside remains alive, and those trees very often continue to grow for centuries, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. It's the same way we look at these buildings. They're resistant and they last. So that change that I described, that change to these new large panels that we can build with and these new large buildings we can build with also has really leapfrogged a lot of the way building codes work. We have for a century built buildings the same way, steel and concrete buildings the same way. And we are now in this very new era. This sort of rebirth of wood as an important material means that we actually have to change building codes. So that process of code evolution, I call it code evolution, absolutely is already happening. It needs to happen quicker. Currently, codes in many countries around the world are changing to address these new materials and create opportunities for them. My feeling is we need to do it faster.